Guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the Time War, and specifically the Big Finish Time War box set, and whether or not it's a good thing that they're doing it. I sort of thought of this this afternoon, and I sort of thought to myself, should the Time War really be kept a mystery? Because the Time War has been talked about, it was created by, well, the whole idea of it was created by Russell T Davies, and I like to think of it as like this whole big mystery that we'll never get to experience, what the full impact of that war was. And I honestly think I'm surprised that the Big Finish company, went out and did have now produced the first box set, and are probably working on the second box set as we speak. And of course, it's been. We delved into a little bit of that with the War Doctor series. I've only listened to the first box set, which was Only the Monstrous, and it's quite. At the same time, I'm quite interested in the Time War and how it affected other civilizations and planets and whatnot, and how bad that war became. But a part of me would like to think of it as a whole complete mystery, and maybe at some point we might get a Paul McGann mini TV series, which I think, now that Big Finish are doing their Time War series, I think it's highly unlikely. And of course it will probably cost a lot for the BBC to do, but I'm glad that Big Finish are sort of going into that area, because like I said, we've already got the War Doctor series, which was a huge success, and we'll just have to see how the Time War box set plays out, and it will probably be a great series and a great era for the 8th Doctor. I think it's probably coming to the end for the 8th Doctor now with the Time War series, because obviously we've had the 8th Doctor and Charlie audios, we've had the 8th Doctor and Lucy Miller, we've had Molly O'Sullivan with the Dark Eyes series, and now we're getting the Time War box set, which is really interesting, and it's going to be quite exciting to see how that leads into, well, hopefully it might lead into the Night of the Doctor, because the Time War is something, it's been it's been talked about numerous times in the new series, and there's been a whole load of fan theories and whatnot, and personally, I don't know, I'm sort of 50-50. A part of me would like to to hear more about the Time War, but a part of me would like to sort of leave it alone, for maybe in a few years or something we could revisit it in the TV series, but because we saw a bit of it in the 50th anniversary, because I'm surprised that they even got the Time War into the 50th anniversary, to be honest. I didn't, because that was sort of left alone from the Russell T Davies era, so I'm surprised they even brought it back in the first place. Obviously, John Hurt was great as the War Doctor, and I do think that because Big Finish have got some brilliant writers, and I'm sure they'll produce a fantastic series, and it will get lots of sales, and it'll make them lots of money, and I think it's pretty highly anticipated. It's one of the more highly anticipated releases for this year, I think, because I'm not sure when it's coming out. I think I've got a feeling it's coming in at Christmas, because after that we've got the First Doctor Adventures. I'll have to check up on these things. I'm probably wrong, but yeah, I'll have to check up on them at some point. But yeah, I probably will end up buying the Time War box set, because I'm currently buying the new 8th Doctor Adventures with Lucy Miller in order, so I can have a full impact of the 8th Doctor as a whole, the whole of his era. Can really see the development of that character, because I can see a lot of new series fans who have never even touched a Big Finish audiobook before, buying this box set as soon as it gets released, which is good, because it will help them get into Big Finish. But I think to answer my question, as to conclude this video, I think I'm like I said, I'm 50-50 with it. We'll have to see how it all plays out, and to see how Big Finish create this sort of really war-torn world, and that'll be really exciting. So that pretty much concludes this video, so thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video, and I shall see you soon.